Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode in our Winter World. So today, I'm not going to spend very much time over here because we're not going to get the 1.0.5 until two more videos from now. But in this chest, I have a little bit of resources from what I got when I was caving, and that cave is right over here. So you see all these torches just so I don't get lost. But the main part of the cave where I got all the diamonds was down this gigantic cobblestone staircase that I dug. Keep going down here, and it keeps going down forever. I believe this is where the diamonds were. Yeah. So I found one vein here, and then another vein over there, and so the two veins I found were like right next to each other. Any doodles. What I want to do today is to continue working on the Tomb of the Undead God. And as you can see, this is what we did last episode. I'm really proud of this. Maybe there should be some more diversity in the ceiling here. And I also still want to get that grass down here. I still don't know how I'm going to do that, though. But, off camera, I did a wee bit of mining while watching a movie. The movie was Red 1. Because it's almost Christmas time. And yeah. Okay, maybe this is a little bit more than a little bit of mining. Maybe it's like a little bit of mining. But yeah. This is the main room or the main intersection room. And this way is going to be where we sacrifice our diamonds. This way is where we're going to sacrifice the bread. And then over here, we're going to have another 3-step staircase going down to the main room where the actual deity is kept, and where I am going to have to jump into its pit to sacrifice myself for it to do its job. So, yeah. But in this little room, this was a nice oval shape that I found using a pixel, like one of those Minecraft block oval and circle generators that you'll find on Google if you Google it. And this oval shape is going to house the chest where the entity stores the item, so it's going to be like right here in the middle, facing this doorway. And over here is where I'm going to use all the obsidian. So I'm going to mine out like a 2x4 tunnel. And I'm going to line it with obsidian. I'm going to be smart by how I place the obsidian so I don't have to use too much of it. But cave sound. But at the end of this tunnel, I want to put some redstone torches that look like eyes that come on every so often if you're in a certain part of the process of doing this item transfer. So just to make things a little bit more creepy. So what should we start with? Maybe I should start with fixing all of these rooms. And I also need to fix this ceiling. This ceiling's going to be kind of tough because it's not just a dome, it's a dome and an oval. And so that's going to be tough. But I managed to get this dome done. But I left all of the blocks in it. This is how it was, so I need to fix this up with stone. I don't even know if I have enough stone. Yeah, this grass definitely isn't spreading. I've been here for so long. Huh. Also, I did manage to grow some pretty nice trees over here. So this tree, for example, I really like. And so what I did is I just took the trees that were already growing next to each other, and then I put another big tree. Or I did another one of these things, where I planted a tree above a tree. But these never grew, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. Maybe the oak logs are just too high? I'm not sure. So maybe the strat is to grow a grid of oak trees and then grow trees on top of that once you have that tree grown. I definitely know this isn't going to be enough, so I already got another 8 stacks smelting up. Luckily, we have all this coal from the caving I've been doing. Well, it's really dark up there, but I like it. Looks cool. Alright, finally getting rid of this pond, because I didn't bring any dirt with me. For some reason, these are refusing to grow. That's okay. But the reason why I'm up here is because I want to build some custom trees. Finally. Because I think we know how to do it now. So this is my plan. I'm going to put these platforms with these trees, and hopefully that will give me enough leaves to grow a Christmas tree eventually. But I don't know. I'm putting them two apart, that way we don't get that log in the side of the leaves like we're getting over there. So hopefully this works. I'm going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and then we'll see. I might add more before you see me next. I don't know. I need snow! Snow! So now I want to design what's going to happen in the staircase, because it's not just going to be one big staircase. I mean, I left it flat here for a reason, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a gizmo here that locks the door. It goes here, not there. Whoops. So you have to flip the levers and the right password, and you get a password encoded door here. So I'm going to put an iron door here, and this is going to be a wall of some sort. I don't know. Look at that. All 9 of these trees are grown for each of them. So I'm going to have to come up here and come back up here and plant the middle tree that's going to make it tall. But before we do that, I've made a lot of progress on this door. So I actually finished it. So if I come over here and I want to make it through this iron door, I could break the blocks, but I wouldn't do that. I have a 4-bit code here, so I just start flipping levers randomly until, oh, that one worked. So this combination here, this one on and this one on, works. It'll open the door. And how did I make a passcode? Well, I just use an AND gate. That's all it is. And you negate a couple of the inputs. So if I come over here into my redstone access, which is hidden into the tree, I can come over to this giant AND gate. That's all it is. So, for example, here's the OR part of the AND gate, and here's the negation of the output. So remember, an AND gate is just an OR gate where you negate the inputs and the output. Here's the negation of the output. Here's the OR gate. And then we have to wire these two things to the AND gate. So this one I'm negating, and so it gets wired down. And then this wire here loops around to this redstone torch, and it powers this OR gate. So that's one of the inputs, and it's negated. And the bottom one is not negated, so it should be off. Or wait, no, this one should be on, and this one should be off, because it's on by default. So this one should be on in the passcode. And so if I go down here, all I did was snake it around, and I put a torch here so that this is the negation of the input into the AND gate. And I did the exact same thing on the other side. So here, but I flipped it. So this one is not negated, but the bottom one is negated. So you have to be a bit tight. It's a bit tight with the redstone. But I negated the input here, and then I looped it around, and then I did the second negation that you do to make it into an AND gate here. Which is the same thing as doing just a straight wire, but this is actually 17 blocks, so it wouldn't work. I've actually recorded this segment a couple times, and I realized, oh wait, the door didn't open right. Yeah. Made a little bit of an error, but this door is working now, and I tried to clean this up a little bit. Actually, I think there's some dirt that I left. Yeah. Should I clean this up? I'm gonna clean this up. Sweet. Clean. Nice. Alright, and I'm really happy with this tree door. I didn't think about that until I was going like, I might want to be able to access this redstone later. How would I do that? Well, I can do it right here. So if anything ever goes wrong, maybe like a creeper blows up, because it's going to be rather dark in here, I can always fix it. Sweet. But we're going to leave this open because we need to keep working down here. So I've been watching a lot of old Minecraft videos, as well as a lot of new Minecraft videos that take place in old versions of Minecraft. And in that, I learned a new trick that I didn't know about. So I used to just hold down left click when I was mining, and I mean, just watch. It is noticeably slower if you hold down left click compared to if I click for each block. And I think that's a bug. I mean, it would be weird if that was an intended feature, but it's faster, and that's convenient because I mine a lot. This is going to be our dark tunnel that I'm going to put redstone torches at the end to make it look like eyes, and I'm going to put a bunch of obsidian in it. Man, that is pitch black. Pitch black. That's actually kind of scary. But I wonder what it's going to look like with obsidian. Okay, I broke my last pick, but let's see. I need to go further back. Definitely. But I do like that, and I like the obsidian. The obsidian makes it really, really dark, like pitch black. But the redstone torches are providing a little bit of light, which is getting rid of the effect a little bit. Like if the redstone torches aren't on. Yeah, look left and right. I really like the obsidian. I think the obsidian's doing a lot. Okay, in the effort to save obsidian, which I'm down to 24, we're going to go up by 2 here. And now I should only be using 8 obsidian per layer, that's still a lot. So maybe I can cheap out on the floor since we're not going to be able to see the floor anymore. So that's 6 obsidian per layer. That's still, what, 2 more layers? I don't know what I'm going to do. But what does this look like? Man, you can barely see anything there. Wow. Wow. Ah, man, this is it. I think that's the perfect distance. That's pretty good. That's not creepy at all. Alright, moment of truth. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that sells it. I'm gonna leave this dark. And also, this room is gonna be lit up by redstone torches. So, this room's gonna be dark already. And I want this hallway to also be lit up by redstone torches. And that's going to be an issue, the zombies. Because since this room's going to be so dark as well as this hallway, there's definitely going to be mobs everywhere here. But I want to figure out a way to turn these eyes off. And I only want them to be on during certain parts of this. During certain parts of the process of gathering or of transferring the items between worlds. Okay, I'm pretty sure this will turn the left eye off. So just going. This was actually quite a long tunnel. There's going to be a lot of redstone involved in this. But yeah, he's now a one-eyed goblin. Goblin. Yeah, sure. Alright. So, off, on. Sweet. And I think the smell looks pretty nice. I had to repeat it right here, but yeah, cool. Okay, so far, redstone-wise, we built a password-protected door and some toggleable eyes. The next thing I want to do is I want to make it to where I can turn these torches on and off at random during a certain process of the animation. So this is actually going to be kind of tricky. So for those of you who don't know, in computer science, generating randomness is actually an extremely hard problem. People build these things called pseudo-random generators, which is not my area of expertise, but this is not something that I really want to do just for some blinking lights. And so what I'm going to do instead is I was going to run these into a couple different timers so that maybe this one's blinking every like 35 ticks and every 24 ticks, and maybe this one over here is blinking every 15 ticks and every 38 ticks. I don't know. But how would I do something like that without just building a crap ton of timers? So I'm going to tell you my idea, and then I'm going to tell you why it's not going to work. And it's not because my idea is wrong, it's because for some reason these clocks keep burning out. And I'm not exactly sure how they work in this version of the game. But my idea was to take clocks that were prime. So, for instance, this is a 7 times 2. So, no, sorry, this is a 5 times 2. This is a 10 tick clock. And this is a 14 tick clock. This is a 7 times 2 tick clock. And then I run those into an AND gate, and that should just multiply the prime. So if I want the number n, I just take its prime factorization, and then I run those clocks into an AND gate, and that would give me my clock for an arbitrary length of ticks. And that would save a lot of redstone because I could reuse the same clocks over and over and over. But this isn't going to work because these timers keep burning out. This one's fine, surprisingly. But if I come over here to a 2-tick timer, which is something I would need if I wanted to do... Or, sorry, this is a 4-tick timer, but it's 2 repeaters. Or, sorry, no, it's 3 repeaters, actually. So it's a 6-tick. But it burns out really quickly. And I'm not exactly sure why. This works in modern versions. But this redstone is just going too fast for some reason, and it burns out the timer. And this one will also burn out, but it takes a minute. And so here's the 10-tick timer. Here's a 2-tick pulse cinder outer. I don't know what you want to call it. I wanted to make sure this wasn't hooked up to the 14-tick one. But it will turn on. It'll keep going, but it will burn out within a few seconds. But while it does that, maybe I'll tell you what these levers do. So this is just an AND gate, so I changed one of the repeaters into an AND gate. That way I could turn it off. So I can turn off the clock every so often. But it seems like this one is still working. It'll burn out. I mean, it usually burns out. Sometimes it doesn't. It's very unreliable. It's very random, which is ironic, because that's what I want, but not this kind of random, because I can't detect this. But as you can see, this one of the outputs is blinking, and if the other output was on, this would turn this torch on and off. And so it would this torch would turn on only when this timer is at this part of its timer, and this timer is at this part of its timer. But this isn't going to work because this isn't reliable. Maybe I'll try again. Oh, I need to turn it back on. And 2-tick pulse, and see if it burns out. It was burning out off camera like 4 times in a row. Oh, there you go. It just did it. Yeah, this is off. But this time maybe it'll work. Yeah, it's so strange. I don't exactly know what's causing things to burn out. So I don't know how we're going to do this, because this 14-tick one seems to work pretty consistently. But at the same time, I've even seen it burned out after a very long time. But maybe you just need a really slow clock for it to work properly. Well, as you can see, this is somewhat random. It's a bit quicker than I was hoping, but I mean, that's what you get when you're putting a 14-tick and a 10-tick together. It should end up being 7 times 5 times 2, whatever that is. Yeah. Yeah, and there's like a long blink, and now it's a short blink. I don't know. I wonder if minecarts can be pushed by water. So I got some water. What if I try to do that? Okay, maybe I want to place the rail first and then the minecart. And what if I put a water there? Will it push the minecart? Very slowly. Very slowly. I don't know if I can use them. Moment of truth. Can the minecart activate the pressure plate? Yes. So there is a way to make a timer out of minecarts, but it would be very, very slow. Alright, I want to see if I can make it turn a corner. I don't think the hitbox for the minecart's tall enough for this water to actually push it that way. But maybe if I get in it, it will push the minecart by pushing me. But I'm not sure. I wonder if I can make that glass. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see if this is going to do anything. I am worried about this water stream here connecting, but at the same time I'm not sure. I know if I'm standing here, this will definitely push me, because when I broke the minecart earlier, it pushed me. When I'm in the water... No, it doesn't look like it's pushing me. It looks like it's just pushing the minecart. That's unfortunate. Also, there is the worry. What happens when I, like, log out and log back in? Like, is it gonna save the progress of the timer? Yes. Okay. And what happens if I unload the chunks? I'd have to get a longer timer than this, though. Also, one thing I haven't mentioned, the wooden pressure plate that I just used, you have to mine it with a pickaxe. If you don't mine it with a pickaxe, which you'd expect it to be like an axe or something, right? It doesn't drop anything, so strange. Let me set up a test. So I'm going to put a minecart here. That way it gives me as much time as possible, and then I'm going to run away. Okay, I'm on very short render distance, so I don't know how far away I have to go for it to be out. Maybe over here. This is creepy. Hi, zombie. Okay, let's go back. Is it okay, or did it die? Because there's a world where this glitched through the floor. No, it's still making progress, steady progress. That's good. Okay. Maybe I could use this somehow. Okay, I think this is a good idea. So I got the minecart lengthwise, and oh man, that sheep messed it up. But I have the minecart lengthwise, and what it's doing is it's going to press these 3 pressure plates down, and this is going to be like every 2 ticks, I guess. Yeah, though I do need to have multiple of these timers running simultaneously if I'm going to do this. I can't get this to work. You know, in 1.0.6, we'll get boats, and boats are much easier to build timers with than minecarts are. But I really want to get this done today. I feel like there is a timer design in here somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I don't actually know if this test is going to work or not. Oh man, so close. So I'm trying to combine rail-based timers with the water-based ones, because I need it to be water, or it won't be able to hit the pressure plate, I don't think. But actually, let me see if I can try something. I don't think this is gonna work. No, it doesn't go fast enough. Oh man, what a waste. Alright, so where am I? I did a little bit of digging off camera. I'm going to go with the redstone clock because I couldn't get the minecart clock to work. I'm sure there's something we could do with that, but I couldn't figure it out. So we're just going to do the redstone clock, and I'm going to do long versions of them because it seems like the long ones are less likely to burn out. And so what I did is I came down to this passageway that we dug earlier, and I dug down below this ramp where all the redstone torches are. All I've done so far is I just dug the space out, and I've also, on the left side of it, I did a little torch tower. And this line here that you can't see is powering the block with the torch on it. And so what we need to do is we need to have a bunch of timers running, and then run the lines that are flickering down the center, and then choose 2 of them to go to each of these torches. And that's what I'm going to do now, but The first thing I need to do is to copy that over there. And there we go. Nice. Now I need to do the clocks, and that's going to take a while. And I'll do that off camera because we already talked about how to design the clocks. I just need to build them down here. But first, I do want to set up these Christmas trees while I'm thinking about it. So where's my saplings? It's somewhere over here. Maybe it's in this chest. Or did I throw them all away? I hope I didn't throw them all away. Oh no. I have 10 saplings. That's not enough. Alright, I'm going to plant all 9 of these down. I don't know which ones are going to grow. Hopefully, I need at least the one in the middle to grow. But I'm going to try to increase the height of all of these guys. So, I was thinking about adding an additional segment to these videos. I mean, they're already really long. I wanted to try to document the evolution of the Minecraft community on YouTube over time. And I've been messing around with ChatGPT and trying to get the right code for the YouTube API so that it could give me a list of Minecraft videos that came out on certain days. Because the default like search bar YouTube method and like the functions that they have built in to the just the YouTube website that you access usually are all really awful. I mean, you can't really use them to actually do anything. Like actually trying to do something more academic. And I managed to find about 5 videos that came out today, which corresponds to July 11th. And I'm sure that there's more than this, but 5 videos I was able to find were talking about. One was just trying to give a tutorial for a server, but he only recorded the first 10 seconds of it. Another guy has a 250,000 view video where he finds gold and lava, and he's using like a Legend of Zelda texture pack, which I didn't realize that texture packs were so prominent back then already. Another video I found was like the second episode of a Minecraft Let's Play on the Winter World, which was cool. Though it didn't have very good audio. Actually, it didn't have any speaking audio, and the audio was like really buzzy and broken. Another video I found was like a troll video that was responding to all the videos about redstone doors. It started off as if it was giving a tutorial for how to make a powered redstone door. Or not a powered redstone door, but like a password protected redstone door. Like we just built down there, right? He then opened the door with a redstone torch and raided the house and burned it down. While like cartoonish crying played in the background. I don't even remember what the last one was. There was a 5th video. But it must not have been very interesting. But I've been really enjoying just looking at old Minecraft YouTube videos. But yeah, I think we got all 9, 18, 27, 36 trees planted. None of them grown yet, but we'll see what happens. I should keep a way up here. Because I'm probably going to even plant it a 3rd layer. Maybe even off camera, I'll do that. Alright, I got it to work. This is a bit painful. But basically, all I did was I ran 4 wires, and these 4 wires are going to correspond to the 14 tick, let's do 18 tick, maybe, and then like a 22 tick, and then 13 times 2, 26. Let's do a 26 tick here. But anyways, we're going to build 4 clocks. Each of those are going to flicker these lines. And then I built a bunch of AND gates. So, for example, this one will be on, which means this torch will be off. I believe, I mean, I can look. It's when this torch is on, this lever's on, and this lever's on. So it's 1, 2, and 4. So if I go up here, and I flip 1, 2, and 4, that's going to turn on this torch. You can see if I edit any of these, that torch is going to turn on. So this is going to be the combination that gives us this torch. But this combination also gives us a couple other torches, and that's because if I turn this one on, I get that torch. But these 2 torches correspond to those two individually, and then those together correspond to the back torch there. And that's just one example. So you're going to get a lot of torches with this configuration. Yeah, like this 1 and 4 is that back torch, and then 2 and 4 is that torch, I believe. Yeah, 2 and 4 is that torch there. Man. But we have 12 torches here, so they're all turning off and on these different clocks. And so now all I have to do is build the clocks, hook them up to this, and we'll be done, I think. Maybe. With this flickering lights part. It's a lot of redstone just to flicker some lights. The thing is, to finish this, which it's basically finished, I had to cannibalize this by like 6 pieces of redstone. So I'm completely out. So So, it's done, pretty much. If I turn this on, it'll start blinking all over the place. And it's somewhat consistent, but at the same time, not really. Mobs will spawn in here. I've seen like 3 creepers spawn at once, for instance. But if I like turn it off, they'll just start going. They'll start being normal. If I turn it back on, they'll start blinking again. It should be the same animation pretty much that plays every time. Though sometimes the clocks will lag out, or sometimes they'll become always on. If you change the render distance down to like really small, it's gonna break the redstone. But I might not have done it this time since I'm standing right on top of the clock, but it'll do it if I'm like way over there. It did kind of break them though, I think. These two also blink, but these other two don't. The reason why these two don't blink is because the wall's only 3 blocks thick, so I don't have any space to run a wire to make these ones blink. Yeah, so that sucks. But I need to light this up before mobs start spawning. One bad thing about these lights, one bad thing about these lights is that they do ruin the effect on the eyes, which I did wire up the eyes again. Because now that we have all these redstone torches being used as lights, it kind of takes away from the fact that we're using redstone torches to look at like eyes. But I actually did see a creeper spawn down here. I don't know how, because I've lit it up so much, but there must be a dark place somewhere. That would be bad, but I'm probably not going to be down here very much anymore. Anyways. But what did I add? So I changed for each of these 4 clocks, which, by the way, this is a 7 tick, or sorry, this is a 7 repeater, this is a 13 repeater, this is an 11 repeater, and a 9 repeater clock. But for each of these clocks, I switched one of the repeaters into an AND gate. That way I can turn the clock off, and then I hooked all those AND gates up to a signal wire here, so if I depower this wire, the AND gate turns on, so I can pass the signal through, and the clock turns on. But if I repower this AND gate, the clock will turn off, because this AND gate's going to stop the signal from being able to keep traveling around. And I can do that for all 4 of them, and that happens simultaneously. If I power this, it turns all 4 of the AND gates off, but then it sends a 4-tick pulse to the clocks, and so that starts them up. So that's all this wiring down here does. So the clocks should be on actually, but now they should be off because I just depowered the AND gates. Yeah. All right, sweet. And oh yeah, so for these lights here and here, all I did was I hooked up this light to the same line as the 3rd light, and this light to the same light as the 4th light. So if I turn this on, you'll see that this one blinks at the same time as that one. Please blink. It'll blink eventually. There it goes. There it goes. So there's like a 2-tick delay between the two because there's repeaters. And the same thing for this one. This one blinks at the same time as the 4th one, but the 4th one is one of those triple AND gates, so it blinks very rarely. But it will. There it goes. Yeah. So that's pretty much everything. I was thinking about adding redstone torches here, but I think I'm going to light this place up with lava, actually. But we will do redstone torches on the path going down to the main room, to the final room. And so we will have a little bit more redstone to do, but not too much. This took 11 stacks of redstone, which was too much, just for some blinking lights, but I'm really proud of it, since this is like pretty much the only way you can do blinking lights in this version. I mean, I could have just had mobs run on pressure plates, but they're too unreliable to do that right now, because you can't name tag mobs or passive mobs despawn, so there's not really anything you can do. But I think that's everything I'm gonna do for today, because this took forever. This took way too long. A lot longer than I thought it would. Oh, and I also, like forever ago, put the word in the floor. I don't remember what word this is, but it's in there. Oh, I almost forgot. I also put the lava in here, which was actually a bit tricky because it was running into this redstone. So if I come down into our redstone access, you'll see that I rerouted the ladder. The ladder used to be here, now it's here, because this is the block holding back the lava. If I break this block, you get lava. So, yeah. And the same thing over here. I got lava here, so I had to reroute, or sorry, I have lava here, so I had to reroute this line to go that way instead of this way. Oh, and I also hooked up the main area to the main redstone area that we've been working in today to the redstone access that we have for this. So, yay. How do I get out of here? But anyways, that's gonna do it for today. I don't think I'm gonna have time to actually finish the Christmas area before Christmas, which is really unfortunate because that was my goal. And also I want to get to Alpha 1.0.6 before winter break's over, because I feel like I'd have a lot more stuff to do once boats are in the game off camera. Which I'm gonna have. It's gonna be another big gap between videos once spring break starts or ends, or no, once the spring semester starts, there'll be another big gap in videos until the spring break. There we go. Words. Alright, but that's gonna do it for me, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next quest.